Beautiful zikr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nur Maulana Shah Karim Hussaini Hasiman. Mushkil Kusha Meherban Maula. Madad Farma. Madad Farma. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Ya Mawla Meherban, be the light on the tongue of the Nachis, Mawla, be the light in the ears of the friends, Mawla, be the light in the hearts of ours, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, send us light, Mawla, make us light, Mawla, help us, Mawla. Ameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Ali Madad to all friends. Today we start this new Farman, Farman number 27th of June 23rd, 1896, Mumbai. Haq Maulana Dhari Salamat Datar Sarkar Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah Hasi Mama Farmavi Salawat Pado Allahumma Salli ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. ઇન્સાન જાલિમ થાય તેના કરતા મઝલૂમ થવું સારું છે. મુર્તઝાલીએ તલવાર કાઢી તો શું તેઓના દુશ્મનને મારવાને થકત નહીં હતી? તો શું તેઓમાં દુશ્મનને મારવાની તાકાત નહીં હતી? પહોંચી શકતા હતા પણ સબર અખ્તિયાર કરી. શું ઇમામ હુસૈન પહોંચી શકતા નહીં હતા? આગા શાહ ખલીલુલ્લાહને જે કાતિલ હતો તેને પકડીને ફતેહ અલી શાહ પાસે લઈ જવામાં આવ્યો. ફતેહ અલી બાદશાહે કહ્યું કે આ ખૂનીને શાહ હસન અલી પાસે લઈ જાઓ. એવાનની મરજી પડે તો તે પ્રમાણે કરે. એ ખૂનીને આકા અલી શાહ પાસે લઈ ગયા ત્યારે તે ખૂનીને થોડી લાકડીઓ મારીને તેમને કાઢી મૂક્યો. જુઓ અમારી મોટાઈ આવી રીતની છે અને તે સબરમાં છે. દીનના કામમાં આ પ્રમાણે ચાલવું જોઈએ. તમારે પાસેથી અમે ના તો જાન માંગીએ છીએ ના તો માલ માંગીએ છીએ, ફક્ત તમારું દિલ માંગીએ છીએ. તમારું દિલ દીન ઉપર હોય એવી રીતે બરાબર ચાલો તો માંગીએ છીએ. આગા હસન અલી શાહ ને પછી લોક કહેતા હતા કે આ દીન હવે સૂઈ જશે, હવે એવું કોઈ નહીં થશે જેથી આ દીન ચાલે. પછી આકા અલી શાહ થયા, તેઓના પછી પણ એમ જ કહેતા હતા અને હવે અમને પણ એમ જ કહે છે, પણ તેઓ જૂઠું બોલે છે. અગર અમારું એક પણ ફરજંદ હશે તો અમારો દીન રોશન રહેશે. અમારા અશકાઓમાંથી એક જણ એવો થઈ ગયો છે કે તે મુખી કામડિયા જેવો હતો અને બધી જમાતોમાં ફરતો હતો. આ આશકને શામ મુલકમાં ચમડી ઉતારી સળગાવી મીણબત્તીઓ તેના બદનમાં લગાવવામાં આવી. તે કહેતો હતો કે ખુદાયા મને આવો નાઝ જોતું હતું કે સગડી મીણબત્તીઓ સળગતી મીણબત્તીઓ મારા બદનમાં નાખીને મને શામ મુલકમાં ફરાવવામાં આવે. તે બાદ હાજરીમાં મેં ફરમાવ્યું, જમાતને લાજમ છે કે સબર કરે, તમારી જબાનને ખાલી પીલી ખરાબ નહીં કરો, નાહક કોઈના ઉપર ગલબો ના કરવો, ખાલી પીલી ખોટું ના બોલવું, તેમ સબર કરવું, નાહક ફિતનો નહીં કરો, ફિતનામાં ફાયદો નથી, તેમાં સબર કરો. જેમ અમે ચાલીએ છીએ તે પ્રમાણે તમારે ચાલવું જોઈએ. જેનું જેવું દિલ હોય તેવી રીતે તે ચાલે છે. જે કોઈ અમારા દીનમાંથી ફરી ગયો હોય તેને ખુશી, તેને અમારાથી કામ નથી, તો અમને પણ તેનાથી કામ નથી. ખાના બધા સલવા કરો. અલ્લાહુમ્મા સલ્લી અલા મુહમ્મદ વ આલિ મુહમ્મદ. This is a beautiful farman, and the topic actually is, the title is Sabr. Imam is guiding us, teaching us about Sabr. And Imam has given us very, very powerful learning points. First, Imam starts with that it is good to be innocent. It is good to be the one who tolerates the cruelty of others, meaning zalim and mazlum, right? Those who are cruel to you and those who are facing the cruelty. So Imam says that it is good to be tolerating somebody's zulm. In today's time, we are learning more and more that we have to fight for our rights and we have to speak for ourselves. And the emphasis is a lot on in Western world to go towards individualistic rights and individual, importance, self-love and importance of person, individual. Very interestingly, in our society, in our Islamic value, we believe in families, we believe in groups, we believe in community. And there are lots of compromises which are made by individuals to keep the family going and together, keep the community together. And in that situation, there are situations in the family life that one has to be the one who is tolerating, sometimes compromising their rights and compromising their happiness. Very many things are happening. We don't have to go far, but it's within family, within our, immediate relations. Sometimes situations are such that one has to be tolerating things. Imam's talim is that if you are someone who is in that situation and you are choosing to be patient, you will be the victor. You will be the victor. Now here I must clarify that we have to understand that Islam has given rights to everybody. Rights of neighbor, rights of women, rights of students. There are so many different kinds of rights which one has to have, because without rights, society cannot survive. So we are not saying that one should not take steps to work towards getting their rights. If you understand Gujrati, I did read that Imam said that we have to be able to speak up about our rights, but if somebody does not get their rights, one should not become the one who becomes revengeful, who creates divisions, who creates fights, and negativity spreads. Imam says that is not our value. So yes, we have to, when we say fight, fight is again a strong word. We have to speak up for our rights, and we have to be able to work towards seeking what we are needing to live comfortably and do what we need to do. So when we are using the word compromise, compromising is with intellect. It is not, stupidly somebody keeps tolerating negativities and they say, oh, this is what Imam has guided us. So that is not what Imam is saying. That clarification must be understood. That is not what Imam is saying. Imam has in fact told us to get education, and with education learn to speak up for our rights and peacefully seek the rights of whatever the situation or the group we are talking about here. All right, so Imam says that those who are the ones who are tolerating zulm, they are better than those who become zalim, who become cruel. So what happens, normally we are shown this idea that if somebody is, mistreating you, you fight and you become the one who mistreats others because you are now fighting for your rights. That is not what Imam is saying. So Imam gives a very powerful example for us. Imam says when Maula Ali was martyred, do we think that Maula Ali, after Maula Ali was um, uh, hit in the mosque when he was saying prayers, he was in prostration, and this Muljim, he actually hits on the back of Maula Ali with a poisonous dagger. He hits Maula Ali on the back, and Maula Ali lives actually for 3 days. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah says that, do we think that Maula Ali was not capable of taking his sword Zulfikar out and kill this Muljim, the one who has hit Maula Ali? Does Maula Ali was not capable? Could Maula Ali not do that? We are talking about Maula Ali. He is the light, he is the nur. Could he not do that? Of course. But what are we being taught? That he chose patience. He chose patience. In any war, in any battle, Maula Ali was always a victor, always a victor. But this coward hit him on the back, right? So Maula Ali chose patience. पहुंच ही सकता था, Maula could overpower him very easily, but Maula chose sabr. Similarly, when Imam Hussein was martyred, we do know the situation at Karbala, how Imam Hussein was and the family members were kept without water, and finally he martyred, Yazid martyred Maula Imam Hussein. So are we thinking that Maula, who is the Nur, anybody can overpower him? No, that's not the truth. But there's a teachings for us as Momini, as the Jama'ati members, that Maula chose patience. Not only that, then Maula gives example of Aka Hasan Ali Shah, Aka Shah Khalilullah. Again, he was martyred. And his murderer, the one who had martyred Imam, he was taken to the king Fateh Ali, right? But Fateh Ali says that his son would do the justice. So they take him to Shah Hasan Ali. And what did Imam Hasan Ali Shah did? He beat him up and sent him away. Why would Imam choose that? Why would he not, file a case and because khoon ka badla khoon, because he killed, so he should be killed? Why did he not do that? Why the justice which Islam Sharia talks about, right? Khoon ka badla khoon. If somebody has killed you, the punishment is to take life. Why did he not do that? He chose patience and forgiveness. When Imam could do anything, why does he choose to do different? Because he is our guide. He is teaching us. And he says very clearly, Imam says in the Farman, Juo amari motai evi reet niche. This is Imam's exaltedness. This is Imam's following the virtue of the sabr to teach us. This is big heart of Imam to teach us that how he's choosing to be patient. He could do anything he wanted, but he chose patience. Deen na kama a parmane chalvu જોઈએ. Whenever there is following of the religion is mattered. So Imam has created this distinction That physical world we may go if, let's say, our business has been stolen by another businessman for some reason. We do have to go and fight for our rights, go to the court, go to the, our access and seek help, to seek justice. But Imam says whenever there is a matter of deen, in the path of following the deen, Mu'minin should choose patience. When it is to do with following the deen, Mu'minin should choose patience. Nobody can kill our Imam. Nobody can do that. But there was a reason Imam let it happen. There was a reason Imam let it happen. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, when he sat on the Gadi and when he announced that Qiyamah time has started, and in memoirs he speaks that no more prosecution. Nobody can kill Imam anymore. Why? Because the time of Qiyamah had to be highlighted. It had to be shown that how the time has changed. So whatever Imam does, there is a wisdom in it. There is a wisdom in it. And at the same time, there is a teaching for us. How should we live our life? And Imam says that, when sometimes people think of battle and jihad, Imam very clearly explains here that he is not asking for our life, physical life, because this is not the time of battle. This is not the time of physical jihad. Imam says, I'm not asking for your physical body, physical life, nor I'm asking for your money. Now, do not misunderstand. The sond is must. The sond is must. But there was a time during the battle, we read the stories of companion of the Prophet Muhammad, that to support the battles, they would give everything in the path of religion. What? In the path of religion. Because at that time, for religion's sake, those battles had to be fought. And our companions of Prophet, they would give away everything. So sell everything in their home to fight, to support the Prophet. In today's time, we have no jihad, we have no battles. Yes, we do give the song and we do help Imam's mission by supporting AKF. But Imam teaches us here that it is not required of us to fight in the battles by giving our lives. It is not required of us to give donation when we don't have excess money. And it is only required to give our heart to Imam. Tamaru dil mange છે. When we give out our heart, we can understand that everything, whatever is belonging to us, when our heart is of Imam, everything is of Imam. Because where there is heart, the whole, universe of our being follows the heart. And Imam says, I want your heart. Why Imam is saying that? In the path of following the religion, our heart has to be with Imam. And if we were to be in a situation where our life is difficult, we are going through different kinds of tests, patience is the key. That is what Imam is teaching us. Patience is the key. Very interestingly, Aka Hasan Ali Shah ने पूछी, लोग कहता था कि in the time of Aka Hasan Ali Shah, people would say that because of what all was happening, martyrs of Imam, and Imam had migrated to Iran, and all the history, if you were to study, lots of difficulties, physical difficulties Imams were going through, and people used to say that this deen is not going to continue. And very interestingly, in the time of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah was a sickly child. He was constantly sick. He was fighting the battles of health all the time. Now, why are we talking about that? Because this example is important for us. How many of us are fighting with health challenges? And how do we behave? How do we take those health problems? Do we get depressed or do we happily face it? That it shall pass. Not a big deal. What kind of attitude do we have? When Imam was a sickly child and the doctor had assessed him at his young age, and he said, this child is not going to survive. And we do know Imam's long Imamat time, right? He celebrated Platinum Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. And the physical medical doctor says, no, he's not going to survive. And people seeing Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah being so sickly would say, oh, now this deen is not going to continue. These are people's mind, people's thoughts, those who don't understand the talim of the Imam's house. So they say whatever. They say whatever. They don't understand. But look what we see today. We have Shah Karim and the light of Imamat, the chain of the light of Imamat is continuously going on. So people think and they use their partial intellect, akle garizi, and give opinions and say whatever. This is Imam we are talking about. Imam teaching us through role modeling. Imam guiding us. That see, if you are going through health challenges, if you are going through physical, worldly problems, do not be disheartened. Do not let these things overpower you. You walk on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim with happiness, with bravery, and taking all these issues, difficulties, tests as a very patient moment, very patient moment. So, Amara Ashiko Mate. Now here, Imam talks about the levels of Imam. Amara Ashiko Mate ek jan evo thai gayo che ke te mukhi kamarya jevo hatu. Imam is giving an example. Now, above all these, Imam gave examples of, Imam's family, Maula Ali, Aka Ali Shah, Imam Hussain, all those examples. Now Imam is giving example of his lover, a moment. He was khidmat guzar. That's why Imam says he was like Mukhi Kamadiya, meaning he was very Farman Bardar, giving khidmat to Imam all the time, right? Ashik ne Shah Mulak ma chamdi utari સળગતી મીણબત્તીઓ તેના બદનમાં લગાવવામાં આવી. Now, due to whatever reason, Imam does not tell us, right? Imam does not tell us what happened to this Momin Ashik. But this Momin in Iran was caught and he was punished. He was given this pain, meaning that his skin was kind of pulled out. His skin was burned and pulled out, living being and taking the skin out. Can we imagine the pain? And he was burned with candles. Despite that, he would say that, Khudaya, I wanted this, that I should be burned, for your name's sake. And people would see me. This sounds a crazy example. This does not make sense. But these are the words of a lover. Meaning, lovers do not hesitate to sacrifice anything and everything for their beloved. Are we lovers? After that, Maulana Hazri Imam gives guidance, says that Jama'at must, it is compulsory that we remain patient. Never speak ill of those who have taken away our rights. Never speak ill. Do not use your tongue to speak bad about anybody, because that will become a ghibat, right? We do not want to do that. We do not want to do that. We do not want to become those who do ghibat. Nahak koina upar galbo na karbo. And even that unnecessarily, because there are people who are powerful, who are bullies, right? Everywhere they are. And if you are the one who is powerful or strong or is capable and is able to overpower others, don't do that. Don't do that. Khali pe khotu na bolu, and do not be lying. Meaning there are people in Jama'at, Imam is teaching them, both groups do exist in the Jama'at. those who are strong and capable of overpowering others, and there are those who are, tolerating the cruelty of these strong people. Both groups do exist. So first, Imam has spoken to those whose rights are probably taken away, but they are desiring to follow the deen. Imam is talking to them. Now Imam is speaking to those people who are capable, smart, clever people. Everywhere they are there. And if they choose to become a bully, they can do that. And Imam says, don't do that. Do not be lying. Do not be overpowering others for no reason. And if somebody has been in that situation when they are hurt or they are, being abused, if you come to the power, then you do not become the one who is repeating the same behavior of abuser. We don't do that. We are the ones who are walking on the path with the light of knowledge. We forgive them. Unnecessarily do not spread division, fitna, corruption, fight. Do not do that. Do not do that. Those who take sides, this side and that side, those who do not understand the talimat, those who would like to side with the powerful group, right? Remember that power always goes away. Power doesn't last. What lasts? The name of the Imam. And those who are tolerating success, victor will be the one who is patient. So Imam's teachings are that we need to be patient. Those whose hearts are corrupt. Because how do we know? How do we know when we are looking at others that they are the ones who are being cruel or they are the ones who are being patient? Because this is difficult, right? When we are outsiders and when we are looking, if we don't know the story of the both parties completely in totality, we cannot judge. It is very difficult. So we take this stand of being patient and keeping our heart clean and pure, because it is what is in the heart which will be judged. It is what is in the heart which will be judged. Because Imam says that people act according to what is in their heart. People act according to what is in their heart. And in the heart are the intentions, right? So if our intentions are pure, if our intentions are of loving Imam, we will find the truth. We will be victor. Because if we are into a situation where we have tolerated cruelty, eventually we will find the truth. Imam will guide us, Imam will help us, and we will be the victor if we are the ones who are walking on the path of Siratul Mustaqim. Those even who leave Imam's house, those who even leave Imam's religion, Imam says it's their choice. It is their choice. For whatever the reason in their heart, whatever the reason is. Let's say somebody says, oh, I went through such a difficult time and people had taken away my rights. I lost my home, I lost this, and Imam didn't do anything. So I do not need to be with Imam because Imam did not come to me to support me when somebody was abusing, taking away my house. Why didn't Imam come? People can have any kind of thinking, faulty thinking and rational. When we don't have knowledge, we may say whatever. But Imam says, and due to that, if they leave Imam, Imam says it's their choice. It's their choice. They do not harm Imam. But remember, when we are going through something, we are taught, we are guided that do not forget that Imams themselves have gone through these difficult times when they were walking to guide us, when they are in this world physically to guide us. He didn't have to be here, but he's physically here to guide us because he has made promise that for every nation there'll be Imam. So he's keeping that promise. In keeping that promise, Imams are martyred. Imam has to deal with sickness of the physical world. He is the Lord of the both worlds. Why does he need to do that? Because he loves us. Question is, how much do we love him? And if we are tested, which Khuda Ta'ala says in Quran that we will be tested, we will be tested. Are we being tolerant? So let's review those Quranic verses so we understand what is the talimat in Quran. Oh, do you see my screen changed? Let me share. So this is Surah Baqarah, chapter 2nd, and few verses we are going to study, 153 to 156. It says very clearly, Ya ayyuhallazina amanus astainu bis sabri wasala innallaha ma'as sabirin. O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with patient. Allah is with patient. And do not say about those who are killed in the way of Allah, they are dead. Rather, they are alive, but you perceive it not. Now this verse would apply at that time, in the time of prophethood, Prophet Muhammad, those who were being martyred, shaheed, in the time of Prophet Muhammad in the battles. And people would say, oh, they got killed. Khuda Ta'ala says, no, do not call them being killed because they are not dead, they are alive. Khuda Ta'ala is referring to our soul, which is alive. Physical body is dead, it doesn't matter. The same verse in today's time, the ta'wil would be that those who kill their carnal soul, they are not dead, they are alive. Even those who physically die, but they were mu'mineen, do not think of them as dead, because for mu'min, the day of death is the day of the celebration, day of the festivity, Eid ka din. It's a day of happiness. So they are not dead, they are with Imam. So even physically, life has been lost. Do not worry, because the soul is very happy with Imam. How much we go down when we have losses of lives in the family members. What is our attitude? They are not dead. Do we celebrate them? Do we mourn on grief and cry for them? Or do we celebrate their life? And then in verse 155 says, and we will surely test you. This is given. To test us is given. We all have to understand that. This path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, when we are climbing up the ladders, it is not without the test. And these tests comes as a mercy to help us elevate. And he says it very clearly that he's going to test us with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives, and foods. Just keeping it physical, application of this verse, that in physical world, going through poverty, going through loss of wealth for whatever reason, going through loss of health, loss of family members. These are very painful things a human has to face in the physical world. But for Mu'min, these are reasons for Giriya Uzari. These are reasons for remaining patient. These are reasons to saying more zikr ibadah. Remember the first verse. What did we learn? That seek help through patience and prayer. So what help we are seeking? Are we seeking that bring my money back? Bring that person who I lost, bring that person back? Or God forbid, if we have some illness, treat me completely? Is that what we are seeking? Then we have not understood. We are seeking help to have patience and courage in our being, to go through whatever Imam you have chosen for me in this life, whatever you have chosen for me, because you will do the best for me. You will do what is best for me. I do not know what is good for me, but you know it, Mola. So this is so important for us to remember that He will test us. We do not need to become down and depressed, but happy that He has chosen us to give us that opportunity to elevate. Can we imagine that? He has given us the opportunity to elevate. Why would we not take it? We will take it open-heartedly. But for that, what is required? That heart with intellect, which has knowledge, number one, and that heart who is the lover of Imam. Right? And beautifully, what that moment will say, oh, indeed, we belong to you, Mola. We have come from you and we will return to you. Inna Allahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Whatever is ours, remember in our bayat, it was given to Imam. It was returned to us as amana. It is his trust that we are keeping. Our physical life, our children, our home, our family, everything belongs to him. He has permitted us to use it for a limited period of time, and we do not know when our time will be over. But it depends what attitude we have while using these blessings which Imam has given. Naming it our health, our intellect, our family members, our physical comfort, physical life, physical wealth, whatever it is. It is all His trust which He has put upon us. He will take everything back, everything. So what is ours? Nothing. So why do we mourn on things which we lose? For a moment, there is a pain. Remember, there is a pain when there is a loss. But for a moment, it is never crying on the loss. For a moment, it is to seek sabr, to have courage and shedding tears in shukr guzari by doing girya huzari. That is the way and the path of Mubin. And look at this Kalam-i Maula verses, right? We have to see that Kalimat, not only Quran, Maula Ali taught us same thing, right? So these are from online. Dar bayan sabr wa shukr, खुश खबरी दियो आप जीव जब सबूरी की थी जिस बंदे ने सबर किया तिसे फतेह रब ने दी थी खालिक की सब खलकत जानी कोई दुख देवे तो सबर करना तो उस थी तू सही जीते ऐसा मन में धरना ऐसा मन में धरना give glad tidings to your soul, not our body, to our soul. When you have exercised patience. Why soul? What is happening? Because the soul is elevating in their jat. Remember, Imam has taught us that only with knowledge we will be able to elevate our ranks of our soul. And this is with knowledge that we learn that we need to remain patient. We do speak for our rights nicely, rightly, never with ill things in our heart. If we are sick, we do go to the doctor, seek treatment. So whatever is needed to be done, we do it with goodness in our heart. It matters what is in our heart. It really matters what is in our heart. With goodness in our heart. No sad, no grief, no negativity, no ill thoughts about those who are the ones for any reason you feel abused by them. The creature that has been patient has been granted success by the Lord, knowing the Creator's entire creation. If anyone does harm, then be patient. Then through that, you will truly win over him. Keep this in your mind. How would we truly win over the person who is abusing? How did Maula Ali won over, Muawiyah and Yazid, who were plotting to kill Maula Ali, and they did kill. Imam Hussein killed. Imam Jafar Sadiq killed. How did Imam won over those people? They died. They passed away. They left the physical world. We can think like that, right? But when we have knowledge, we will not. Because what was gone was physical body. Remember, the victory is not about the physical life or the physical body. Victors are our soul. Victors is that light. Same chain of the light of Imamat is continued today. Those people who had perversity in their heart, what did they desire? They wanted to kill the chain of the light of Imamat. They did not want Imamat to continue. Who is the winner today? Where is Yazid and Muawiyah? Imam is here, the direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad and Maula Ali. So who is the victor? With knowledge, we can understand that patience will truly win over. Because our Hisab Kitab is not done in this physical life. There is hereafter as well. There is hereafter as well. Meaning that our souls will see that we are the true victors. We are warriors and we are victors. We are not those who are overpowered. Temporarily, physically, in the physical world, somebody can win, but they are not the true winners. Those who are patient, they are truly the winners. Then the next part, Maula Ali says, सबूरी तेरी तुझे फतेह देवे जिस किसी ऊपर आवे बला जो वे सबूरी करे तो उसको फतेह देवे बूझो आप अल्लाह सबूरी कर हार को रब दोस्त राखे आप रब करे अंत प्यार बंदा भलावे जो सबूरी करे तो कठिन वेला होवे रब उसका यार कठिन वेला रब होवे उसका यार. Your patience will give you success. Listen to this. Your patience will give you success. This applies to anyone upon whom calamities befall. The one who exercises patience, to him success is granted by God. The Lord befriends the one who is patient. What? God makes those friends, those who are in sabr. God says, you are my friends, you are my wali, you are my friends, those who are patient. His Lord loves him dearly, very dearly. Can you imagine that Imam loves those who are patient? First, he makes them their friends, and then he loves them as well. And now what do we want as Mubin? What else do we want? His love, his attention, his didar, his rahmat. Noble is the creature who is patient, then in difficult times the Lord becomes his friend. Kathan vela hove, Rab uska yaar. In every difficulty, Imam will be with us. So to summarize, to conclude in this Farman, beautiful small Farman, but beautiful and powerful teaching, that look at Imams even. When they come to physical world, they also have to go through physical tests. Not they need any elevation in the ranks. No, not at all. They're Imams. They're light, pure light. But it is his rahmat that he goes through all these things in the physical world, which ails us, which we go through, to help us see that how Imam lives his life patiently, happily. Are we able to follow his footsteps? He says, I am like you in the physical world, going through physical illnesses. Do you see me complaining? Why do you complain? That is his teaching. That is his teaching. And his light, his soul, comes to rescue us, stays with us when we are going through difficulties. any challenge of the life, any difficulty, He's with us. He actually never leaves us, especially when we are going through difficulties. Right? There's a beautiful story that somebody said they always saw two pairs of footsteps on the sand. And then he sees no two footsteps because he was going through difficulty. So he says, "Oh Lord, I always saw you with me. Now I'm going through difficulties. I don't see you with me." Seeing with physical eyes. "Oh, Mola, you have left me? You have forgotten me?" You know what was the reply? "No, the footsteps you see is mine because I'm carrying you. Kathan vera, rab hove uska yaar." So any one of us going through any difficulty, if our heart is pure, if we are in remembrance, and we are choosing to be patient, that Ya Mola, you know the best for us. We do not know. We have to just do what we need to do, follow your guidance, and be Farman Bardar. Believe me, He is carrying us. We do not need to worry. We just have to be able to cope, remember Him, and be patient. And we will come out through this difficulty as victor. Shukran lillah, walhamdulillah, shukran lillah, walhamdulillah. Ya Mola, make us all victorious, all victorious. Amen. Ji.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Wonderful session again, Niamat Saiba. And the story about the footsteps. Although I'm sure we've all heard it before, it still is has a great effect when you hear it again. I just had a question regarding sabr. Is it true to say that one of the reasons for not fighting back is that if we do that, then we are selling, we are becoming like the other person as such. So instead of working to better our soul, we are now selling that out for worldly needs.
Yes, yes. So if we were to respond back to our abuser for whatever, abuse is going on, then what is the difference between us and them, right? And that's what Imam is teaching us, that we need to be mindful that do not, there's a saying in Urdu, "Jaise ko taisa." If he did this to me, I will repeat the same thing, so he would know how it felt to me. That is a wrong thinking, because many a times you hear that. Let him also go through this pain to know what I felt. That is the thinking of a weak person. That is the thinking of a person who does not have knowledge. That is the thinking of the person who is not walking on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim. Because as a moment we draw this line, because Imam's teachings are such, we will not repeat what they've done. And there are times even when we have made mistakes, right? And when we have realized, we refrain from doing same thing. Let's say if someone here says, "Oh, I did that because I was so much in pain, I did that." But now you have learned, you have understood, never repeat, seek forgiveness. And then it might put you on the other spot, meaning that somebody becomes overpowering you. And that is okay, because now you are with knowledge. When you are with knowledge, you don't have to worry about anything. You just submit in the hands of Imam and you choose to remain patient. Everything will be, we will be victorious. Success will be ours if we are choosing patience.
Friends, any questions or comments? Please come forward. In the chat, we had Merunisa Saiba, when we were discussing the surahs, she mentioned Surah 14, Ayat 5. I don't know if it relates to the surahs you were talking about, the ayats you were talking about.
14 by 5, let's look at it.
Yeah.
So it is indirectly related. Yes, it says, and we certainly sent Moses with our signs. Bring out your people from darkness into the light and remind them of days of Allah. Indeed, in that are signs for everyone, patient and grateful. So those who are patient will be guided to his light. They will come out of the darkness and they will be able to understand. They'll be reminded the days of Allah, meaning the days of Allah are light, and we will be able to understand that. But for that, the key is to remain patient and grateful. So sabr wa shukr. Yes.
Ji. Any comments or questions, friends?
So Karim, I do see Naz asking that these are Maula Ali's written. Maula Ali has not written. These are from Najul Balaga, Khutbah of Maula Ali's sermons, which one of the Ismaili Mubin had written in this language which Jama'at could understand and sing. So yes, these are not his words, but teachings are his. You're right.
Any other comments, questions, friends?
Of course, it is a lesson, Karim, that we all know. It is a reminder when we review these Faramis that how Imam mercifully teaches us, reminds us with his own example. He never has to do that, but he does it mercifully. Why? Because we tend to forget. It is the same lesson which we saw given in Quran 1400 years ago. It is the same lesson Maula Ali talked about it in his sermons. It is the same lesson Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, gives it to us. But yes, I agree that we are reminded, and I hope that we are able to get new insight. I like that what you said, Munira, new insight. And I presume that you are Munira. New insight. But the key is that do we change our actions? Do we change our actions? That's what matters the most. Do we change our behavior, our attitude? So I hope that it does not stay limited to understanding, but it helps. I hope that we change ourselves as well, because transformation to become a moment, pious moment, is related to us changing ourselves. It is when the understanding has come, it has to affect the whole being. Physically, our behavior has to change. So that's what we are looking forward to.
Ji. And that is something so difficult to do.
It is difficult. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we see his mercy, right? Strength from him.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments, friends, before we close the session? If there are no other questions or comments, then thank you, Niamat Saiba, once again for a wonderful session. And inshallah, we'll meet next week for Farman number 28. Thank you. And Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Niamat Saiba.
Yali Madad Manusa, Yali Madad.
Ya Ali Madad.
Yali Madad Shanaz. Madad.
Yani Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Niamat.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.